All right, now this is Winnie the Pooh. It's very hard to read. I don't know, I think I'm going to get down.
Once upon a time, a very long time ago now, about last Friday, Winnie the Pooh lived in a forest all by himself under the name of Sanders. One day when he was out walking, he came to an open place in the middle of the forest, and in the middle of this place was a large oak tree. And from the top of the tree there came a loud buzzing noise. Winnie the Pooh sat down at the foot of the tree and put his head between his paws and began to think. First of all, he said to himself, the buzzing noise means something. You don't just get a buzzing noise like that, buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing without it meaning something. If there's a buzzing noise, somebody's making a buzzing noise, and the only reason for making a buzzing noise that I can think of is that you're a bee. And then he thought another long time, and he said, and the only reason for being a bee that I know of is making honey. And he got up and he said, and the only reason for making honey is so that I can eat it. So he began to climb the tree. He climbed and he climbed and he climbed and he climbed, and as he climbed he sang a little song that went like this. Isn't it funny how a bear likes honey? Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wonder why he does. Then he climbed a little further and a little further and then a little further, and by the time he'd climbed that far he thought of another song. It's very funny thought that if bears were bees, they'd build their nests at the bottom of trees. And that being so, if bees were bears, we shouldn't have to climb up all these stairs. He was getting rather tired at this time, so that's why he sang a complaining song. He was getting nearly there now, and it stood on that branch, and crack! Oh, help, said Pooh, as he dropped 3 meters onto a branch below him. If only I hadn't, he said, as he bounced 3 meters onto the next branch. You see, what I meant to do, he explained, as he turned head over heels and crashed onto another branch 4 meters below. What I meant to do was, of course, it was rather, he admitted, as he slithered very quickly through the next 6 branches. It all comes, I suppose, he decided, as he said goodbye to the last branch, spun around 3 times and flew gracefully into a gorse bush. Ow! It all comes into liking honey so much. Oh, help! He crawled out of the gorse bush, brushed the pickles from his nose, and he began to think again. And the first person he thought of, was Christopher Robin. So Winnie the Pooh went round to his friend Christopher Robin, who lived behind a green door in another part of that forest. Good morning, Christopher Robin, he said. Good morning, Winnie the Pooh, said Christopher Robin. I wonder if you've got such a thing as a balloon about you. A balloon? Yes, I just said to myself coming along, I wonder if Christopher Robin has such a thing as a balloon about him. I just said it to myself, thinking of balloons and wondering. What do you want a balloon for? Said Christopher Robin. Winnie the Pooh looked around to see that nobody was listening. He put his paw to his mouse. To his mouse? To his mouth. And he said in a deep whisper, Honey. Honey. But you don't get honey with balloons, said Christopher Robin. I do, said Pooh. Well, it just happened that Christopher Robin had been to a party the day before at the house of his friend Piglet, and they had balloons at the party. Christopher Robin had just had a big green balloon, and one of Rabbit's relations had a big blue one, and he'd left it behind, and being really too young to go to a party at all. And so Christopher Robin had brought the green one and the blue one home with him. Which one would you like? He asked Pooh. Pooh put his head between his paws and he thought very carefully. It's like this, he said. When you go after honey with the balloon, the great thing is not to let the bees know that you're coming. Now, if you have a green balloon, they might think you're only part of the tree and not notice you. But if you had a blue balloon, they might think you're only part of the sky and not notice you. The question is, which is the most likely? Wouldn't they notice you underneath the balloon? Asked Christopher Robin. They might, or they might not. Well, you never can tell with bees. He thought for a moment, And he said, "I shall try to look like a small black cloud. That will deceive them." "Then you'd better have a blue balloon," said Christopher Robin. And so it was decided that Pooh Bear would have a blue balloon. So they both went out with the blue balloon, and Christopher Robin took his gun with him just in case, as he always did, and Winnie the Pooh went on a very muddy place that he thought of and rolled and rolled and rolled till he was brown all over, and then when the balloon was blown up it was as big, and Christopher Robin and Pooh were both holding onto the string. Christopher Robin let go suddenly, and Pooh Bear floated gracefully into the sky and stayed there, level with the top of the tree, about 6 meters away from it. "Hooray!" shouted Christopher Robin. "Isn't that fine?" shouted Winnie the Pooh down to him. "What do I look like?" "You look like a bear holding on to a balloon," said Christopher Robin. "Not," said Pooh anxiously, "not like a small cloud in a blue sky?" Not very much." "Oh, well, perhaps from up here things look differently. As I say, you never can tell with bees." Well, there was no wind to blow him nearer to the tree, so there he stayed. He could see the honey, he could smell the honey, but he couldn't quite reach the honey. And after a little while he called down. "Christopher Robin," he said in a loud whisper. "Hello." "I think the bees suspect something." "What sort of thing?" "I don't know, but something tells me that they're suspicious." "Perhaps they think that you're after their honey." "Well, it might be that. You never can tell with bees," said Pooh. There was another little silence, and then he called down again. "Christopher Robin." "Yes?" "Have you an umbrella in your house?" "I think so." "I wish you would bring it out here and walk up and down with it and look at it every now and then and up at me and say, 'Looks like rain. Looks like rain.' I think if you did that, it would help the deception which we're practicing on these bees." Well, Christopher Robin laughed to himself. Silly old bear. Oh dear. But he didn't say it aloud because he was so fond of Pooh. And he went home and he looked for an umbrella. "Ah, there you are," called Winnie the Pooh as soon as Christopher Robin got back to the tree. "I was beginning to get worried. I've discovered that the bees are now definitely suspicious." "Shall I put my umbrella up?" said Christopher Robin. "Yes, but wait a moment. We must be practical. The important bee to deceive is the queen bee. Can you see which is the queen bee from down there?" "No," said Christopher Robin. "Ah, that's a pity," said Pooh Bear. "Well, now if you walk up and down with your umbrella saying, 'Looks like rain,' I shall do what I can by singing a little cloud song, such as a cloud might sing. Go!" So, while Christopher Robin walked up and down and wondered if it would rain, Winnie the Pooh sang this song. "How sweet to be a cloud, how sweet to be a cloud, floating in the blue, a-floating in the blue. Every little cloud, it makes him very proud, always sing aloud, to be a little cloud." The bees were still buzzing, as suspiciously as ever. Some of them, indeed, left their nest and flew all around the cloud as it began the second verse of this song, and one bee sat down on the nose of the cloud for a moment and then got up again. Christopher Robin called out the cloud. "Yes?" "I have just been thinking, and I've come to a very important decision. These are the wrong sort of bees." "Are they?" said Christopher Robin. "Yes, they're quite the wrong sort. I should think that they would make the wrong sort of honey, wouldn't you?" "Would they?" said Christopher Robin. "Yes, so I think I shall come down." "How?" asked Christopher Robin. Winnie the Pooh hadn't thought about this. If he let go of the string, he would fall bump. And he didn't like that idea at all. So he thought for a long time and he said, "Christopher Robin, you might shoot the balloon with your gun. Have you got your gun?" "Of course I have." said Christopher Robin. "But if I do that, it will spoil the balloon." "But if you don't," said Pooh, "I shall have to let go, and that would spoil me." Well, when he put it like that, Christopher Robin saw how it was, and he aimed very carefully at the balloon and fired. "Ow!" said Pooh. "Did I miss?" asked Christopher Robin. "You didn't exactly miss," said Pooh Bear, "but you missed the balloon and hit me." "Oh, I'm so sorry," said Christopher Robin, and he fired again, and this time he hit the balloon, and the air came slowly out, and Winnie the Pooh floated down to the ground. But his arms were so stiff from holding onto the string of the balloon all that time that they stayed up straight in the air for more than a week. And whenever a fly came and settled on his nose, he couldn't do this. He had to blow it off. And I think, but I'm not sure, that is why he's called Pooh. 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 Goodbye. Good night. See you tomorrow.